Hey there, this is Peacekeeperalex and the Psychic Wargamers. This is going to be the Total War Three Kingdoms Yellow Turban Rebellion campaign Let's Play number 61. This is going to be the Psychic Wargamers stream number 76, and we're going to carry on where we left off last time. We can see about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 He forces, armies to the south. So you can see all different generals here. You can see two over to the west near Baxi, and they're going to be about to assault that city and take it, hopefully, and secure the west. And then to the east, right in the center, actually, middle, near Badong, we have three armies. So we're going to take Iron Mine and maybe move down to Wuling, the rice paddy, and take that. Hopefully then to eventually move down to Ba, large regional city. Over next door again, we got another two armies near Jiangxia and Jiangling, our provinces, southern. And then you can see two approaching Cao Cao forces, Kujiai and then Cao Ren. And then there's Cao Cao on the river. And he's right near Gongdu army as well. And then, of course, we have the four armies over in the east. And we're still trying to figure out... we're kind of right on the fishing port and the lumberyard, Lujiang and Xindu. And then there was also the Jianye, large regional city by Liu Bei, one of the other nations. And we're going to be, I think, maneuvering over to him after taking out... I think Xindu fishing port would be a good base of operations. So we're taking that, and then Huangshao's right near Lujiang, which of course we can assault right now, and we're predicted victory here. So we're going to actually start this battle. It's going to be Siege of Lujiang, Lumberyard. We're at 2,904 against 2,320 He against Kingdom of Wei, Siege of Lujiang. Lumberyard.
Let those words carry us to victory.
Let future generations tell of our glory here today.
So we are going to be assaulting this lumberyard here. We've got three entrances that we're approaching from where our army is stationed. We can maneuver to other places if we want to. We have not many archers, so six archers, and we do some chanters. 2 units of chanters, 4 units, make that 5 units Yellow Turban warriors. You have some militia of virtue, and of course some Yushine People's Warband, as well as a Yellow Turban Spearmen, consisting of the melee of the main army. We have 1 horseman. We're going to run with the generals. He Yi, Huang Shao, and Pingai. Yellow Turban horsemen. Deployables. We're going to deploy 3 forces here, I think.
Rally! Our general needs our aid.
So we can see here the enemy's giant infantry captain. He's right in the center. There's 3 columns here. The right flank column, giant infantry, and some archers. We also have some spear guards in support. You can see over off on the left side, the left column, giant infantry, and my general is right there. So I'm going to send in Huang Shao, and we're going to see what goes on. So my general's going to be chipping away at this unit here for a bit. Of course, the horsemen arrive. And I bring in some spearmen to cover this horseman unit. And as soon as the spearmen come, we all go and see these spear guards for the enemy pull up as well. We're going to stall here. Send in the horsemen. The horsemen got hit there hard. Only 21 units remaining. We are heading in with the archers here. We got our 6 units, and they are pelting the enemy here. You can see an archer unit wavering. You can see the giant infantry retreating, and then 2 halberd and spear unit apiece, and some archers, and another. And there the archers flee, but we can maneuver our archer fire to really hit the enemy where it hurts. We can just get them right over here. It was. Then they separate. Still hitting these spears makes sense. We're going to try and see if we can get here. And of course, right in front, you can see our chanters and melee infantry engaging this one giant infantry captain. And he's getting swamped.
Our success looms large.
The spears here now sitting, getting picked off by the archers for the enemy. They've maneuvered to attack them spear guards. You can see the amount of archer fire here coming down. And over on the other side as well too. The enemy caught off guard by our archers and losing a lot of men from it. We ended up just sitting there blocking them with our infantry. In the left flank we got Militia of Virtue and Yellow Turban Warriors taking on another giant infantry unit, trying to break through that left column, the left entrance. And then right off on the right side, we can still see some units stationary. We're going to actually move up here. Archers start hitting the spear guards as soon as they hit for the enemy, and then we're going to charge at them. Brutal to worse for the enemy as the He forces here try to break through Cao Cao, blocking this entrance, right side, right flank. The center is almost done. We got some wavering. The captain himself is really at the limit, running out of men. 42 unit health, and they're just surrounded by multiple He units, and he retreats. So the center's open, and they start moving through the lumberyard. You can see my 2 generals over here off to the side as well too, fighting off these forces. Still been there, and he's laid waste a lot. This seems to be all general kills, I think, to a certain degree, and that is something that is good to see, is the generals really wreaking havoc, and then the archer fire right on the enemy as they try and sit there, and that's just not going to work for the enemy here. Cao Cao's going to have to retreat this away from the generals, who are also still attacking, and they retreat outwards. Now, right as He just crosses in front of them too, with this large amount of units. There's a little bit of problems here. Is there? I don't know. They run right into them, and some of them attacking each other. as these retreating Tsatsa Force Spear unit right amongst TE forces. You can see right in front there is some enemy that is not retreated. Giant infantry, medium halberd, another unit of it, half health, full strength archers, giant infantry captain, another one comes up front, and then some spear guards, a quarter of a unit, 59 men. As this large force, he slams in the middle of this lumberyard, this encampment. Right in front is the flag, right in front of them. There's like a block right now from the enemy. So we try to break through here. And we got our archers, and there is more breaking. So we broke through the other entrance. The right flank is broken through, and we do have the left flank as well, pretty much, because there's nothing else there. So we could send the rest of our forces to the center to try and catch up, and we'll get the archers over here. Get them to start working on that. Right around the bend. You can see more of our forces arriving here.
The enemy warriors are running.
And they start to break. Victory, they broke. Wow. Was correct. Pushed right through in the center, and that was it. You can see. Decisive victory. And our archers racking up the kills here, hundreds. 516 for one of the archer units. That is quite a lot. And Wang Shao getting 177, so doing well as well. Our general's getting just as much together combined.
Celebration is due. Let the wine flow.
Or no, just one short. One shy. 196.
Grows.
So they did lose 2,320 there. Some generals to upgrade. We also have some forces to raise. None of them are able to because they're all on assignment, I think. Is that what the problem is? We can take one turn, so we're going to have to end turn here before we can do something, I think. We try and raise army, it's just not working. We need more characters, and I wish there was a certain kind of recruitment area. So we're going to end turn here. And we do end up getting attacked here, and it does predict valiant defeat from this 4,738 force against 5,100. So they just got a little bit over us. If we could just give ourselves an edge, we could win this. So we're going to start battle. We do have some trebuchets. We do have a decent army. To a certain degree. In Siege of Penchang Farmland, he against Liu Bei, 4,738 against 5,100. Liu Bei, start battle. Some Giant Sea Raiders. First thing we want to do is get rid of this cavalry then. First thing we'll go after, 50 full 50, and that'll take care of those 2 units. Very correct. So we want to find the horsemen. Get these trebuchets to hit the archers. Might be a good idea. And we are inside of it, so that changes everything. That changes the entire look of it. Where is the forces? They do have trebuchet. They do have a trebuchet. And of course, I don't see these. I don't see the cavalry in view. We got more forces back here. We got our cavalry. Alright, look at all these archers to the south that we can use. Archer squad, and I think there's going to be more reinforcements over here, so... Put the cavalry out front. So we're just setting our lines right now.
Enemy reinforcements are on the field.
And we can see here they are approaching from the north, they are approaching from the east, and they're also going to be approaching from the west as well. Their reinforcements have arrived, and we can see their horsemen, mounted saber militia is what we were looking for. So we're going to want to turn those cavalry around. And there is some coming from the south as well too. You can see some archer militia emerge out of the forest, and some spearmen as well too. So that's not good. 4,738 gets 5,139. Holy. And we want to put some caltrops down. And multiple units here. Another whole retinue to the friggin' south. Of course there was going to be. Oh, we're going to have to move some swordsmen, get them over there.
The enemy unit flees. What cowards!
Bring up our horsemen, maybe. No, I don't want to put my horsemen over there. Put this other axeman over here as well.
I will crush you for this insult.
See, we're hitting these Azure Dragons with that catapult. Changing the tempo of what's going to be. As they approach, you can see the archers are firing upon crumbling archer towers as they move through here. And now they're going to move over this caltrop line. These guys are getting hit hard as they try to approach this encampment. And then over the caltrop lines that we set for them. And over on our line, they finally get through. And a lot of bow fire on them as they get through that door. So they're getting hit hard there. Other lines, though, scary, specifically to the friggin' west, is this huge army approaching. And Jesus, it's still also to the north, south as well. The south is a problem. We still need to have more reinforcements, and I think I'm actually going to send in my horsemen to try and deal with that too. Try and put it up against. Maybe put up a multiple horsemen, that would be enough. As we get 2-3 units over here to the south to hold off this huge amount of giant militia. Look like yellow turban horsemen to be true. They look like yellow turban units a bit. Lighter yellow. As this huge amount of He forces move in. Try and battle. Right in this south battle here, you can see multiple enemy cavalry in the mix as well too, and we found the Saber Militia. Found the Saber Militia for sure to the south. And in the east, they're fucking moving. They're moving that large-ass army, so we're gonna have to figure it out here. We got 5 bowmen to fire upon them. To the north, though, we are still there too. Still fighting there. We're winning it. Small amount of pocket of enemy at that walled area, and we're fighting it. See if they get past that. We still have that axe wielder Varga and the yellow turban warriors unit to the north, and then of course with the 2 wheel spills if something goes wrong. If they break through here, we're gonna light the spills. We got our generals there, so they're gonna be fine too. And they weren't able. This is that remainder, that charge from the enemy that really just too much archer fire coverage to the east here. The east was really bad for the enemy. They weren't able to do much. And I'm actually going to have to send a unit out there to get that trebuchet rock and stop him. Unless I can hit it with my own trebuchet. I can hit with my own trebuchet. That would be the difference. And thank you. The enemy is still pressing their advantage. They're still able here, but they're starting to, just have a little bit less than we do. We're only able to chip them down a bit. We need to chip them down more because this army over here to the west, that they got a huge amount. Like, they have a lot of units. Nansong Infantry, they got the Reformed Imperial Guard, they have Nansong Infantry, another one, 2 units apiece, a giant militia, Saber Militia, Lankai Spearmen, 2 units, and then you also got the mounted Saber Militia, 4 units. 2 generals beat up, and some crossbows moving in too, but we, on the other hand, only have 4 crossbows and 2 units here, Chanters and Sacred Garden Watch, that are just holding that line. So we've got to finish these other battles over the south specifically, because we're still beating on it. We got to finish these other ones, north and also east. And the east is almost done. The east is pretty much... And we are hitting their trebuchets, and it is working. 3 trebuchets. You can see one of them already broken. So it is firing, it is working. And the crossbowmen are out of ammunition, I think.
Our men have no ammunition. Draw your weapons.
And they are coming forth here. We're actually going to move these other 2 units here, because I think that's what's going to be needed Move most of these units here this way as well. They are breaking through. And we're going to still be fighting here. I think we're actually going to move our 2 horsemen and move them over to this north area. We're going to see if we can win here. We're going to try and muster up enough. And there's just a lot of them coming through here, breaking up against this Chanter's unit and Sacred Garden Watcher. We got a lot of bow fire on it, but it's just a lot of units. It's too many units. And getting attacked by the enemy general as well doesn't help, too. We can get all our generals over here. Get them horsemen going.
Look! The enemy run!
And there is wavering happening in that western front here. This large amount of enemy unit movement, this last remainder army, and our advantage is winning here in a certain manner as we continue to break down the enemy that are remaining at those entrances, still holding it off. Each one, just a couple units for some of it. Right here, there's just this one spearman unit from me holding it down, and I get these archers in the action too. That's going to be it too. The archers right out there, and these guys are done too as well. I'm going to bring them over here, try and support that. Over to the south, because there's just a bit of enemy left there. And now you can see...
Yellow Turban! Attack! Ready, Yellow Turban! Shoot fury! To attention, archers!
The enemy unit flees! What cowards!
Steel yourself!
So we're sending in our generals. And we continue to fire on this army. Get an extra swordsman in here. Get some more spearmen. We're going to creep up on this and continue to fire with those bows. And multiple bouts continuing to happen here. And the enemy has broken in the north. They are done. So we're going to send these remainder forces over to the west, because that huge army, that reinforcement army is still there, and we're holding them off.
The enemy unit flees!
Bows are going to get in the mix as well too, because the bows, a lot of bows are out of ammunition, so we're going to send them through. We got a few arrowmen left. 2 really. 2 bowmen. And of course over to the south there's still that battle happening. We're going to win this one, but I don't know if we're going to win the other one. The other one looked like we might not win, and that's over to the east. The remainder eastern one seems to have enough on us, maybe. I don't know. And our advantage has been gained here. We 2,774, so we were able to chip down. We were able to get some of the units down. Able to change the battle.
Stand ready!
And their front lines here are wavering.
At the ready!
Mounted Saber Militia, and now it's starting to cascade here. The Lankai Spearmen as well are starting to waver. And even the stuff from even behind are starting to waver now, so you're starting to see this breakdown happen. Army's had enough, and they're either going to break or they're going to push through. With the amount of forces we were able to muster.
Our success looms large!
There we go, the lines start breaking. Couple units break, spearmen move up.
Load catapult!
You can see this large movement happen.
What cowards!
And you could see the battlefield afterwards. The amount of enemy that got trapped and killed there is insurmountable. The bows really doing their jobs on this one. Of course, we can look at the other areas too.
Our men flee the battlefield.
This gambit worked. Of course, this one was too, that huge charge, and there still is enemy here. And it was that eastern front and remainder that we were going to lose potentially here. Reclaimers 16 holding on. This is all these. Fast forward here, and you can see these Reclaimers end up. So we end up losing this one area. General's still over there. Trebuchet still operating, still firing. But we ended up breaking the enemy army, specifically the reinforcements, and they try to muster up again to attack, but it's fruitless. We're going to send all these guys over here backwards. And they end up meeting the archers, so the archers try to hold it down here. In Eastern Battle, and we also send some trebuchet units as well, too. You can see the enemy hard pressed. And one last spearman. 2 spear units. See the cavalry arrive. I'm just going to change things up here a bit. See the general here approach, and that trebuchet entering the battlefield here on this last engagement. Speed it up here a bit, and it's an interesting matchup. So a couple horse units show up to save the day, and are facing off against this last enemy unit, the White Plume Guard. Really is some one flagging. And there's the Giant Sea Raiders as well too. And they got spears. It's a scary thing. Trebuchet dude is getting beat up a bit too. We send our trebuchet in the mix, and our general.
Look, the enemy runs.
More units arriving as well. Pesky bow unit coming up right behind him.
Look, the enemy runs.
Just enough bodies to maneuver them out of there.
Make ready.
Enemy general's on the retreat. His enemy is retreating, and it just leaves the remainder against this the large army, recorrecting enemy units. See the enemy retreat here. As he breaks through. One last battle here over here. Ye archers against yellow turban warriors. It's an interesting bout as well. And both units are wavering. See more cav units moving in for He here, gonna run over some of this remainder archer. Ye archers. And they are put off guard here. They get charged. And both units end up being up, and they end up retreating, and that was the remainder. That was the last. What a victory. I want to save that replay. That's how I feel about that. So we end battle.
War has long ravaged your lands, taking its toll on your people. Languishing under the oppression of fear can only last so long. The people, having tasted the sweetness of freedom before,
Justice cannot be denied.
And the archers coming through, man. Holy. We captured their general, Sung Sang Yu. We
They
release.
fought only for their beliefs.
And we go to the other archers. And yeah, 110, 47, 57. Some other units getting really good too. The Axemen, 127, 75 from the Reclaimers. The Trebuchet, one of them got 128. The other one got 284. Crossbow getting 126. And a lot of the bowmen here getting a lot of kills here. 410, 252, 104, 139. Really good. The enemy Trebuchet getting 232. Most notably, enemy general's not killing too many. My general's not so. Yukai got killing 201. Even the captains doing fairly well. Some of them getting 150 apiece. Mir. Yeah, so 4,738 deployed, lost 2,459, remaining 2,279, 5,189 deployed for the enemy, 4,216 lost, 973 are remaining.
To work!
So that was Pyrrhic victory. Siege of Pencheng ended up staving that. And they end up attacking one of our 3,000. We're going to delegate this. He against Yuan Shao, Battle of Dong Imperial City. Lost 1493. Lost 1930. 2,577. Lost off 3,121. Remaining 1628 for He Yi, and remaining 647 for the enemy. Enemy capture 169. We're going to recruit. Battle of Dong Imperial City. So we end up putting that. And they end up attacking a second time. And this time it says it's going to win here. We got 1771, and we're facing off against 1292 Valiant Defeat. We're going to actually start this battle, because I think that we can actually win it. I think to a certain degree. We have that Defenders of Earth unit. So the first unit we're going to want to take out, Defenders of Earth unit, is what we want to do. We want to nullify their bows. They got nothing there. We got some horsemen. 5 horsemen. That's not good. So really, that is probably the formation I'm going to want to go with here, but they do have some units. We're going to put some deployables up. We have our 4 horse units. Control 3. We got a beat up dude here as well. Knowledge of the spirit, knowledge of the mind? I think we do, so we'll be able to use that. Our battle. We're going to see if we can win this. It says that they got the advantage. We do have 500 on them. Where's that bow unit? Linkai archers. I don't see it. It was a voice chaser marksman. It wasn't a Defenders of Earth. So what we want to do is we want to target their cavalry, if that's the case. I thought you would want to nullify their bows. I don't know if we want to go that way. I'm going to fast forward here. And we are firing upon their cavalry. So we're going to stop their cavalry with our own. And we continue to fire upon their cavalry, because they got a lot of cavalry. We nullify their cavalry, and we're going to be good. And there is a Defenders of Earth bow. What is this? Head on upon. Oh, voice chaser marksman. Still good. Okay. As long as we're not facing that. The enemy is able to get behind, and our bowmen are a bit flat-footed here.
You are pitiful.
Ended up getting across those lines.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something? Ready, bows. To battle. The yellow sky awaits. Stand ready. Attack. Our time is now. Take heed, warriors. Rise up. Rain down death.
You can see the enemy here crash right into the center. Right in the center here. If we can't get these bowmen not working because of their horsemen.
Open fire. Archers attack. Yellow turban.
And the enemy's looking like they're doing well, but okay, we still got those cavalry battles happening. And we are having a bit of the upper hand on them. The enemy is losing. Yeah, but the front line stuff.
Warriors, run. Craven dogs.
There are no generals left to lead.
Generals
Our
are
noble
gone.
lieutenant will pick up the standard now. Heed him.
And we got the enemy general harassing us right in the mix here. And the enemy still squarely has the advantage. 800, 607, 608. So they were having the upper hand here with a lot of the battles as they continue to break through.
Be ready, vanguard. Ready, bow.
Our men flee the battlefield.
So we are going in here and going to try and change the fate of the battle with this one last push. All our forces.
Take heed, warriors. Yellow turban. The time has come.
Our warriors run. Craven dogs.
Rise together. Attack.
And the enemy just too powerful, shaking off this defense. And decisive defeat, able to defeat HE forces. Not able to get the bows correctly because of the way the marksman still getting 238. And that might have been the first thing to hit, but tried to limit their cavalry.
The mightiest tree survives on its roots.
1415 lost on 1771 for HE, and then they attack again. And we're going to delegate. So one of our armies gone in the north. The Kingdom Away, of course, is probably going to attack as well, too. somehow. There we go. Anyway, ends up attacking, and of course we don't have enough, so we're gonna delegate. They end up decisive defeat. We end up lost 2,140 in siege of Yangzhou. So they end up taking Yangzhou farmland. So, our 3 armies here, we still have remaining. Some of lost farmland Yangzhou, we know. So, to the south, they end up taking Yangzhou again. Jiangxi, we're going to have to move up our army. In fact, we're going to raise an army here, I think, too. Simic in. And then we're just going to recruit. Captain Archer, captains. Yeah, we're going to do that, and then we're going to do this. So we got a second army raised, if we do that. And this guy is thinking of going on Ruin, but I'm not going to allow that. We've got a second army there. I think we'd be better moving these guys to the south, so that's what we end up doing with this. For Yangzhou Imperial City. This guy going to Jianye. We're 2 armies here. We got another army. Kingdom of Ways revealed. Valiant defeats is 2,991 against 2,923. We're gonna withdraw then. I want Huang Shao getting attacked on that ish. We're gonna actually full speed.
Prepare full sails. Without rest, intent is blunted.
To the south, we have Kuji.
Destroy corruption.
And another city there. Well, I'd love to get back across this river.
Outwards and on.
And I end up doing it at Badong. Cao Cao sails up the river.
Conserve spirit. Embrace impulse.
I'm gonna hit the march stance on this army, get him up closer.
Marshal your reserves. Avoid diversions.
And we're gonna attack him. Well, we should have a second army, so we're gonna have to withdraw.
Wisdom dictates a retreat. To the grand design. Advance. Attack.
And he ends up retreating off the second attack. We're not gonna be able to go far enough to be able to get him again. So we go to Baxi. And we start deploying this and siege equipment. Continue siege. We have that second army there near Baxi as well. So if we need to. In fact, I kind of want to go to Chengdu though. And there is a full army there in Chengdu.
Patience will renew our
No moving rice paddy. We end up taking that out. Delegating that. Occupy 8 wounded. 437 lost, 2,480 for the enemy lost. Raise an army here, I think. So,
Promote calmness.
from a mountain's peak. All looks calm. I would meet with my...
And we have 3 armies here. And we can go and try and take Hanai again. And we do. So we end up taking Hanai. 5,656 against 1890. With help from our allies as well. End up taking out one of their generals as well. That's on the land. 365 decisive battle, Battle of Dong.
To the task. Nurture wisdom.
Sprout ever upwards.
I take the fishing port in the north finally.
The people's
Against
voice
Gongsun
cannot be
Du.
silenced.
One of our enemies, we moved in there and lost 688, but we have 915 remaining off 1603.
In time, they will
Gongsun Du ends
thank
up losing
us.
the force in the city, the fishing port. Terrible collapse during construction efforts in the new town. A section of bamboo, scaffold, collapse, and a horrific accident that crushes many of our men. Sometimes many injured apart from the loss of manpower. The remaining workers are also demoralized, drastically slowing the colonization process. Pay for doctors. Taking pity on the injured, you spared no expense to send doctors. The workforce must be cared for and productivity is to be maintained.
May wisdom flow. Always forwards.
And we will actually recruit a retinue while we're here. Captains. Turban Spearman is what we'll get there. Perfect. Pingwan, do we want to raise an army? No, but to the south, Donglai we do. And we can't because we got seasonal deployment, and that's been limiting me for being able to get things done. To a certain extent. We've got 2 armies here.
Do not break. Focus your rage. Focus your rage.
Pen Sheng. Close defeat. Against 2034.
Stand down.
Honor your ideals. My troops need respite. Consider and act. To arms.
And we're gonna go Yi and try and take that as well as too, because there's another province just sitting there.
Resist corruption and endure hardship.
So, Kingdom of Song here collapsing a bit. And that's really the end of that. The way is open now through Gongsun Du and Gongsun Zan, as well as Lu Yu. These 3 factions right to the north. And once we figure out what we're going to be doing, we're still at war with Lu Yu. So 3 cities there we can try and fandango. Of course, we're right across from Dong at Hanai with 3 armies kind of camped out, and right across the rivers there's the Kingdom of Song, the remainder. You can see 2 armies kind of squaring off against each other. Kingdom Liu Bei, both armies Liu Bei, and the city itself, Pencheng, which they stole, I think, for whenever it was. So Pencheng's hurting there. If we can just put this army right there,
Do not break.
that would change everything. And we still can't raise any more armies. He's no deployment this season, is he? Is that the reason? Assignments? No, we don't want to put assignments because that's the thing of it.
Cultivate patience.
So we've got some generals to upgrade as well. Bianjin. And we're going to go with... Integrity. He's the writer, legendary veteran writer. Huang Zong, local leader by Hai. And we're gonna get some charge bonus on Fury. Give him another weapon, I think. Or maybe not. I'll leave it. Yan Ying, the potter. It's 5% income from commerce. That's a good one. 50% reinforcement range. I like that. And Yukai. And there is some followers to get. We can get an eavesdropper. Stone monkey. Plus 10% armor. I like that. Of course, C Tao. We can also give him a labor recruiter. Plus 8k pop growth. Plus 29 reserves. That is the upgrades. And there's one more thing. There's one more.
Remain supple.
There's 10% speed. And we can start building up here again and continue to build up. We do have a lot of monetaries. We continue to build the cities upwards. We continue to upgrade our buildings here to maintain good standard. Voodoo. So we enter, we have everything already set to go. And let's see what they do. So Battle of Penchang Imperial City, we end up getting swamped. We're going to try and retreat. And they attack us again. This time it looks different. We're going to delegate. We're going to win that. Whoa, both generals. I'm getting a huge victory there against Liu Bei, Zhuge Liang.
For China!
Consider our
Zan is asking us as a vessel to defend them against Gongsun Zan. Checking will result in vessels and opponents, except we're at war with Gongsun Zan now. That ends that. One Shao. Not even one Shao. The Kingdom of Wei certainly has some moves to do. 2,697 against 2,763. I think I could change the fate of this battle. They've predicted a valiant defeat. Battle of Chengdu. Start battle. And we do have a Defenders of Earth unit this time. And we do have a decent amount of archers. We do have a couple horsemen. We do have some spears. Let's get it. Put the spears on the side. We do have some horsemen as well. we set our guys up here, we get the defenses all in order. Start battle here. Put this caltrop line. Alright, make the difference. See them move towards. And some of the cav go around. You can see the archers aiming towards some of them. A lot of archer fire.
Ready! Steel yourself! It is time for you to die!
Stop wasting my time! Open fire!
Rally! Our general needs our aid.
Strike your targets!
And some horsemen end up getting by. Well, that's not what I wanted. We need these archers up and running. This might be the difference here if I'm not able to get my archers up.
Our tower has been destroyed!
Continue to shift our bow fire here to try and nullify their bows.
Their tower is ours!
And we shift bow fire now.
Fire upon them! Loose! Our men are running! The spineless cowards! Rain down death! Horses, stand ready!
And the enemy is just edging us out here because their general ends up going over there, chasing down those archers.
The enemy warriors are ready! Ha! The enemy unit flees! What cowards!
As we rain havoc on the enemy here, just at the end with the amount of bow fire, they correct. And we end up trying to save this battle. Enemy horsemen.
Our men have no ammunition. They cannot fire.
The enemy general has fallen. The balance of power is shifting. 1200 against 800. And our archers are cycling, still firing upon them. Multiple enemy units remaining, but the army is broken up, and we have more troops than them in this one battle here, this engagement, this large engagement here. Saber infantry, Geon sword guard cavalry, heavy Yangtao giant infantry, and then some wavering saber infantry trying to take on the yellow turban warrior units here that are able to withstand this attack and then shift bow fire. And the bows are under attack, but we've ended up nullifying a certain portion of their army that is changing this battle. It was the main engagement itself which unraveled, and it looked like the enemy had the upper hand, but we ended up using the bows that we had, and you could still see them firing upon the enemy. And multiple forces here end up retreating, leaving free 2 units here, yellow turban warriors. I still have to worry about one bow unit and a general. But our generals, we have all 3, and we're going to send them right towards that spot where they're attacking our bowmen.
This simply will not do.
Strike your targets!
And right at the end here, the enemy's swamping us, changing the dynamic. And we got a spear unit over here. Just run over to those horsemen. Go, 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 go. And the one last horse unit holds that remainder of horse, and then the spearmen get there. Hold off that cav charge. See, this is the remainder of that huge battle at the beginning. You can see the amount of dead on the ground. And the enemy is out of time and men.
The enemy warriors are running.
And they end up breaking, and we end up. This is the break we needed. It's the break that changed it. End up getting that down. Just that 1 unit left. Breaking through. And hitting this horse unit as it crosses the field. Multiple bows, not allowing it to happen. Entire time hitting them with bows, and they have to retreat, and they charge in though. They do charge in, but they end up retreating. And these bows have just been tucked away, still firing, even upon the enemy attacking. And the enemy breaks on all quarters here. And they end up firing, the bows fire the last fire on the calves, the enemy cav. And they break, and that is it. That is victory. See this battle. And I'm going to save this replay as well. In battle, so we ended up changing the fate of that one. Enemy getting a lot of kills with the cav. We ended up limiting the Defenders of the Earth unit, and there is. Enemy general's not doing too much either, but our troops doing amazing. Our bowmen, look at that. 589, 274. Man, we got about 1,000. There are 1,000 men with the bows, and that really did.
Our victory is proof of heaven's approval.
1,697 deployed, 1,736 lost. We captured Huaqian, the general, King
They have
Wei General
suffered enough.
Xaiwei. We're going to recruit. They lost 2,431, 2,763. And Kingdom Wei attacks again. 7,000 against 800. Close victory. Delegate.
From the roots to heaven.
Kingdom Wei ain't done yet, I don't think. No. Another one, 2,800 pirate victory. It's supposed to. This one does look like a really good battle. I think that they're attacking again at Badong Lumberyard. And I think this is going to be the last battle that we're going to do here. This is going to be Battle of Badong Lumberyard. He against Kingdom of Wei, 2,883 against 2,623. Let's take a look here. We're going to be rocking 2 units of Reclaimers, 2 units Archery Masters. We have 2 units Jaitsi Raiders, Righteous Vanguards, and White Wave Horsemen. We have some Sacred Garden Watch. We have 6 units, again, of Yellow Turban Warriors, the Standard. And then we got Peasant Spearmen. For the enemy, they're going to be rocking the Lankai Swordsmen, 3 units, Lankai Spearmen, 2 units, Yansao Jai Infantry. They have a couple bows, Lankai Archers, and Crossbowmen. They have some Mounted Saber Militia, Martial Guardians, and Sangling Cavalry. And they have 2 generals, and then the captain. Well, Wu Li is there. He's just happened to be that. So, start battle. We're going to want to target the Martial Guardians, I think, is probably where we're going to hit. That, and then maybe the Archers themselves. Probably the best bet. Well, we're going to put up the defenses here. Cavalry. Set up our little defensive operations, and we are ready to go. We got a decent line of cavalry. So do they. We're on slow motion here, actually. Deploy the caltrops. can see the horsemen coming around the wings here, and we end up sending our peasant spearmen light spears to kind of counteract it, and then also 2 units of our horsemen. You start hitting that Martial Guardians unit. They try to march upwards, and that's just a lot of arrow fire. Hit that caltrop line. And that is the end of that unit.
I do not fear your words or your blade.
And one of my archers ends up getting harassed anyway. We send some of our righteous vanguards towards it to relieve. You can see them attack right on that left shoulder. We're going to send in that spearman to clean up that cav unit. Sangling cavalry. And our cavalries are clashing. Giant Sea Raiders against Mounted Saber Militia. Giant Sea Raiders against Sangling Cavalry. I'm going to send the spearmen that way. And get these archers to keep going, firing on this cav unit. And right there, cav charge right on that left side. We're going to have to shift some units here. Get the generals in the battle. It's going to change the entire look. And right on that left side, they're going to go in there and crash in. It's going to be the difference.
Make ready.
Hit that, hit a couple buffs.
No mercy.
That does change the line a bit. And as we try to traverse, more cav charges. And another cav charge right off to the side. And right behind here, these 2 units, White Wave Horsemen and Peasant Spearmen, really covering as this left flank cav charge happens. See the enemy here getting pretty battered, putting something to them as they thought they were going to just walk in. See, the battlefield is beautiful today. Enemies just put to the test here, and right across this battlefield, you can see it. Look at this. Huge battles, man. And again, right behind the main lines, right up to the side here, Peasant Spearmen, White Wave Horsemen try and take on some enemy. It's Lank Eye and Mounted Saber. It's really, really even right now. The Spearmen end up winning that left side hit.
Show no mercy. Axe the ready. Attack.
And more units end up hitting that front line here, giving some more health to those lines.
Take heed, warriors. Stand ready. Charge. Steel yourself. Kill them.
So the general's really taking a piece of this left flank and turning it into something else.
Keep up, friend. Keep up.
I dearly hope your blade is
This Righteous
sharp.
Vanguard unit is in the mix as well too, off just on this left flank side of the main engagement. And all across the line here, ebbing and flowing. The enemy is putting more emphasis now just on that solid right flank. And we've surrounded their general, who is being put to the sword here. Liu Yu.
Your
And another one, Kuji.
Are you angry? You sound angry. I think you're angry. Do not relent.
And we end up breaking that left flank. And just as there's this cavalry unit right behind us, we turn around to fight it, and they end up fleeing. We end up running to that left side, that left flank.
The enemy warriors are running.
And put a mounted effort here, you can see here. And we end up covering and folding over on the left side, and then a cav charge right in the behind and the front lines. Another cav charge in by the enemy, trying to stop what we're doing here. And of course, full spear unit over here. We're gonna bring this over. My general's still chipping away at the archers.
They were no match.
See crossbowman, he's chasing him down. Can't see you. So the engagement breaking into two parts here is there's certain units that are breaking away. So this right flank and this left flank. And the left flank is almost done. They got one unit they're working on, Yangzhou Jai Infantry, and they've surrounded them. EU forces are going to be victorious, I think, because it looks like bounce power 840 to 690. So it's still even, but we have the advantage. So the right flank is the left flank is freed up. Yeah, the left flank. Left flank is free, and we end up charging at the enemy. Right in the soft spot. You can see the amount of soldiers that move in here. They're gonna breaking through. And that would be the difference on that right flank now. We press in our advantage. The enemy continues to lose. He forces are defeating. Send our remainder units up. Try and finish this off. And the enemy is getting there, you can see. They are starting to get a little bit antsy and start to, there they go, retreat. There's the answer, and that battle is won.
Success looms large.
Huge battlefield. So nearing victory is this one crossbow unit and a couple other recruiting.
Look! The enemy run! Craven.
Victory. Alright, victory. Alright, thanks for joining on this ending battle here. You can see the archers are doing amazing, and same with the cavalry on our side, fairly well. The enemy holding it down on multiple units, specifically our generals, 335 and 145. Definitely doing really well on that. But that is that, and we end up winning that battle. Ends up
Our
mattering.
faith was rewarded.
Battle of Badong Lumberyard. And we end up recruit. And ends up continuing. And he'll probably do one more. Probably. Oh, no. Oh, so we'll see if we get attacked here by any of the others. And Yuan Shu does attack us, so we're going to leave it off here. And this is going to be an interesting battle. 3,158, 1,568 reinforcing for Gongdu, so it's an allied battle as well. And we're going to be facing off against Yuan Shu. And he does have the numbers. He has 3,054 and 2,879. Very good. Thanks for joining.